So there's a brand new DLC for ARK if you didn't know, right? And what's very interesting to me is that one, it's not developed by Studio Wildcard, right? The original developers of ARK Survival Evolved and now ARK Survival Ascended and potentially ARK 2 in the future. It's a completely different studio. It has nothing to do with ARK Survival Ascended. And at the end of the day, the entire thing, dude, it smells fishy. And yes, pun intended. And of course, the new DLC I'm referring to is Aquatica here for ARK Survival Evolved. The first couple big reveals we've got, number one, the official network for the Aquatica servers for ARK Survival Evolved, which if you did not know, actually came back online for the very first time. With that being said, though, we did get confirmation that these servers, it looks to be supported up until the end of 2025. So literally the rest half of this year here, it looks like you're going to be able to play on the official network for the Aquatica DLC. That's huge for ARK Survival Evolved players. Secondly, here it looks like they're going to be able to support, or they're going to support, small tribe servers. So again, big W for people who want to jump in there and play on a small tribe server. And lastly, here we also have, it looks to be PvP transferring is going to be enabled immediately. So you should be able to transfer your character from server to server, you know, via the PvP network with inside of Aquatica, of course. And speaking on character transfers, that brings us into another really big important thing to note here, and that is players had asked, will your character progression and character from previous ARK Survival Evolved official servers be able to transfer into these aquatic servers? And the answer was straight out no. There is no saved progress. There is no saved character. There was nothing that you had on the official network in the past that is transferable into this aquatic, you know, official servers. There's nothing that exists in order for you to do any transfer that was basically disclosed. So again, keep that in mind. Loading into the aquatic servers, you will be creating a brand new server and starting from scratch. Now, next up, let's talk about some of the new things in this DLC that you can expect if you do happen to pick up the Aquatica DLC for ARK Survival Evolved. So we've got the brand new map, of course. We've got 21 new dinos or creatures. Now, keep in mind, again, some of these might be reskins. They might be additional textures put on them, maybe additional things put onto them. That's why some of them might look familiar. There's a couple of them I can point out to you myself, like the crab in the trailer reminded me a lot of the Oasisaur, right? Like the entire style and body, you know, how it moves and everything reminded me of the Oasisaur that we have in the Bob's Tall Tales for ARK Survival Ascended. But with that being said, we also got 4 new bosses, it looks like, to fight here for this brand new aquatic map. The size of the DLC is going to be roughly 20 gigs for the download. The official network will have enforcement, or at least so to speak, they say it will. And as I mentioned here, the official servers for Aquatica should be up and running towards up until the end of 2025. Again, that's probably going to really determine based on the player count and how many people are actively playing the game and how long they can continue to pay for these servers, or to at least upkeep these servers with super low population, if that does actually happen. So now with that being said, let's dive in and talk about some additional reveals that we've had throughout the day here for this DLC. Starting us off here with Studio Sirens. There was a lot of questions that was asked via the dev live stream on what exactly is Studio Sirens, who are they, because they have no track record, you can't find anything about them anywhere online, you name it. It was not a renamed studio, okay? This is apparently a full-on fresh studio that Snail Games has created and assembled. It's important to understand that there was roughly 10 of them. That is what the developer has stated. And it's important to note that these 10 developers were not immune from any layoffs, just like a lot of other people and companies are in the gaming industry currently, as they also stated that they lost some really good developers due to layoffs. So it's even a smaller team technically than 10 devs. Additionally, it was also stated by a developer here for Studio Sirens. Again, I'm kind of feeling like I'm beating a dead horse over and over again, but they did state publicly that Studio Sirens is owned and ran by Snail Games, just like Snail Games owns Studio Wildcard. So again, just something that you need to know and understand about how the Studio Sirens works and fits into all of the puzzle pieces. Now, when it comes to Studio Sirens, we also got some additional information, or additional statements, I guess I should say, from the developers via the live stream. The same developer said that Sirens is here to stay in the ARK verse. So it looks like it's not just going to be ending here in ARK Aquatica. It looks like they are hoping to continue development beyond Aquatica, Does that necessarily mean anything for ARK Survival Ascended or maybe even ARK 2? Or is this strictly going to be focused around ARK Survival Evolved? Unfortunately, they kind of left it open-ended here. They didn't really give us too much information, at least not currently. Additionally, that same developer then also said that Wildcard has done amazing work and we are honored to officially join the team. And this is an interesting statement because the verbiage that they use in this statement makes me personally feel like they're here for the long haul, and I'm very eager to know what Snail Games has in store here for Studio Sirens beyond the Aquatica and ARK Survival Evolved DLC. Speaking true to the new and more content coming out here for ARK Survival Evolved, or potentially, there was also another statement by the same developer, as you can see here. It says, find our Explorer notes to get a hint at the next project, though, guys. Again, alluding to me that the Explorer notes inside of the Aquatica DLC are going to give us some Easter eggs or some additional hints as to what the next project is that Studio Sirens is working on. And of course, we don't have any context at the time of recording this video on what exactly they're referring to. You know, are they exclusively talking about ARK Survival Evolved content here for the future beyond Aquatica? Or are they referring to, you know, them merging or joining up with Wildcard to work on ARK Survival Ascended, maybe to help with development? Or are they talking about something completely different that we have yet to obviously be revealed by Snail Games? Only time obviously is going to tell with all of this, but it is very interesting to learn more about the situation, and it looks like that Snail Games potentially might not be done with producing additional content or DLCs here for ARK Survival Evolved, and I'm personally not sure if that's a good thing. And so now, when it comes to my personal opinion on all this stuff, I personally feel a couple of different ways, right? Obviously, a bunch of mixed feelings. I'm thinking like a lot of ARK players have. But for one, I don't think that them releasing a new DLC, opening up official servers again, and the potential idea of more DLC coming out in the future for ARK Survival Evolved is a good thing for the player base. I can understand both takes. I see where the business side of it makes sense, right? If you have a large sum of your player base that is still playing the original thing that you've created and done, that you have a since abandoned for quite some time, you still see there's a large number of players there and you want more money and you're looking for a way to, you know, revenue stream, then naturally it makes sense, right? For them to start releasing new content, test the waters a little bit here with Aquatica, see how the reception is, see how much money they can make or quick money that they can make off of their player base that's still playing their old game, and then just continue to rinse and repeat and milk it until that strategy no longer works. I can understand that from a business perspective, and I can't really fault them from the corporate side of things. But I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I will never take the corporate side in any of this stuff, right? I'm a player just as much as you are. I'm a consumer just like as much as you are. Even if I am a content creator, I'm still a consumer, and I'm still a person who loves the ARK game, and I still love the authenticity behind what we know and love. And with that being said, I think it's just scummy business practice releasing the DLC, and for that reason, I myself will not be buying it, all right? So I just want to set the record clear here. I have no desire to actually pick up the Aquatica DLC myself, okay? So just keep that in mind. But with that being said, that also leads me down the road of why do I think it's bad for them to do that? I think it's going to further keep their community split, right? I think that by Snail developing additional content for ARK Survival Evolved and keeping that official servers open and doing this, I think it's going to give the players that are over there dedicated to ASE less reason to switch over to ASA. And I think the whole idea should be they need to commit and fully commit into ASA and continue to push players over by giving more incentives for ASE players to swap over to ARK Survival Ascended. And I don't think that they've been doing that. I think they've been trying to take ARK Survival Ascended into new directions, which is fantastic, and I understand the idea and strategy behind that. For new players, but trying to get the old ones to convert, they haven't really done anything in order to do that, in my opinion. And so because of that, I think this is just going to be another way that the community is divided or further divided because of the new content on both platforms. Now, additionally, I want to talk a little bit about my opinion on Studio Sirens. I'm not exactly sure and I feel like it's very fishy, right? Okay, pun intended here with this, Aquatica update. I think it's very fishy that they've hired or created a new studio, and then the studio or some of the developers in the studio are now on live streams talking about how there's a big announcement coming out in the future, potentially on Friday, maybe even the community crunch, that has something to do with them joining Wildcard and them like developing ARK and the ARK franchise in the future. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out. I'm very eager to know, of course, and I hope it's in a positive light, but I have a feeling it's not going to be. I have a feeling that we have already seen a little bit of discourse between Wildcard not wanting to be associated with the Aquatica update, and Snail Games, obviously, now having a team of, or a studio team that they built just for Aquatica and potentially more ARK Survival Evolved content. I don't know. It just, the whole thing seems fishy to me, and it's not something that I really support, at least not at the current state of me recording this video. I think the more information that comes out, the more I might be able to change my direction or my perception on everything. Yeah, that's kind of where I sit, I guess, at this point until we find out more information. But with my opinion being stated here, as always, man, I want to know, where do you stand? All right, are you going to be playing Aquatica DLC here for ARK Survival Evolved? Are you not going to? Do you think that Snail Games should be continuously pumping out content for ARK Survival Evolved? I don't know, man. Like, what are your thoughts overall about the brand new studio? Like, do you think that this new studio is just a random, studio that they've put together because of Aquatica? Do you think it's here to stay? Do you think that they're going to potentially try to replace Wildcard for this ARK franchise? I don't know. I'm just spitballing at this point here. But as always, I'm eager to know what your thoughts are, and I want to have a discussion down below in the comment section on what you think about all of this stuff. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to drop a like here on the video, subscribe here on the channel for everything ARK related. Also, don't forget to tune into my live streams and on my Twitch channel. You can find that link down below in the description, twitch.tv/Kodeations. As always, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all the next one.